Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you.
My name is David Bell, and this is a Far Eastside story.
You have not lost a game in 2.5 sports seasons.
That's correct.
That's pretty good. You know that?
Yeah, it is.
David Bell, best receiver in the country.
I mean, the dude goes undefeated. That's what he does.
When you say the name David Bell on the Far East Side in Warren Township, man, it just simply means the best ever.
So he's a special talent that, without question, could have went wherever he wanted. But we recruited him hard.
Going out one of the greatest teams ever to do this.
Future.
So in a community like ours on the Far East Side, we have, unfortunately we do have, a lot of single parents. And, David Bell comes from a single parent household. He has like many here on the Far East Side, he has a very strong mother, but he has two grandparents that are just unbelievable.
Oh, these are it, but you can't really see them. Hello, Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. This is the baby.
I mean, he's not in diapers anymore. I don't have to potty train him anymore. Now, my thing is, hey, you're not going to be home? Call me, because I can't go to sleep until I know where you are. It's the first time I heard him speak, I thought, wow, where did he get that from? Because as I look back and remember him, a little boy out there on the field, he already knew he could do that. That's why he did it.
Come
on, buddy. Go.
Sports is really giving him some type of direction, and we've just followed along with that and encouraged him and provided for him to do these different things. When I had David 18 years ago, I had no idea what was going to happen. I just knew I had this little boy and I had to raise him. Didn't know what he would be interested in, what he would do, where he would go, how it would end up.
My relationship with my mom was very strong,
So. Awesome video!
Yeah. She's been working 2 jobs for pretty much my whole life. She just stopped it, but just to see how hard she works so me and my brother can have whatever we want is just pretty amazing, and I just use that as motivation when I train.
This is Junior.
My relationship with my grandma is real strong. Like I said earlier, she's like my mom. She took care of me when I was 6, so when I was 3, she had a stroke, so she was out of the house for a few weeks, and as a 3-year-old, she was essentially my mother. She took care of me and stuff like that. So, she always taught me about putting my trust in God, and that's what I'm still doing to this day. I have huge faith in God, and without him, none of this would be possible.
Well, first off, he went to church every Sunday, every Tuesday. At an early age, he went every Friday. There wasn't any question about would there be a substitute on church time. No, we go to church. All that basketball stuff is secondary. Let him know that, you're going to need God more than you're going to need football. My favorite moment was when I saw David was just standing there and the guy come running with the football on the other team. And he hit David like he was a wall, and the boy fell down. David didn't move. He went bam. I thought that was amazing.
We've had a lot of generational type talent come through here, but what makes David so special is that he just he just came at the right time. At that time, we struggled to, get our best middle school kids over here. We were losing them to the private schools.
Coach West talked me into coming to Warren, and it's the best decision I made so far.
When he was a freshman, they moved him to varsity. I thought, as a sign of maturity, they must have been watching him, for him to make that move for the freshman.
He played multiple sports, and he's, so I think he has great value, and he respects the athletic process a whole lot, and I think that's what made him stand out early, that he was very mature and wise.
I was, a little scared because I never lifted weights, and people been lifting weights for about 3 to 4 years. So at first I was getting pushed around, but then I just had to learn how to hold my own ground.
That freshman year was just all about really him and just showcasing his talent. And his sophomore year, not only did he showcase his talent, but he was a sophomore All-American, and he really put his name on the map. Took us to high levels, but then by his junior year, he had pressure on him, and it was kind of like, okay, you're this great talent, but you know what? The greatest ones that come through Warren win championships. So what you gonna do, kid?
So the feeling for basketball, I know that going into the season, the team was like, we want to win state. So as they progressed throughout the season, they didn't lose any games. The semi-state, that game, it was crazy.
We was obviously the #1 team in the state, but not too many people thought we would win that game because, of course, they had Romeo, he was the future Mr. Basketball, but the only people that believed in us was the people in our community.
They came back and tied it. I just put my head down. I just knew we was going into overtime.
The dribble gets off the shot at the buzzer.
I just saw the student section just rush down onto the floor, and I was like, we won? They was like, yeah, David made a winning shot. I was like, what? I missed it.
Nobody thought that we'd be in this situation.
But going 32-0, that was just like icing on the cake.
When the girls won state in basketball and then we won state in basketball, it was just like a sigh of relief for the community. It brought back light to the Far Eastside of Indianapolis. Going into the 2018-2019 season, I knew we was a team to beat.
Senior year started and they was like, hey, we going to state.
He didn't get to practice all summer. People forgot that because he had a pretty good MCL injury.
So week 2, we played Louisville Trinity on ESPN.
It was really his third week back in conditioning. He's over there cramped up, getting stressed out.
We obviously started out slow, was down 21-0.
He gets back out there and he makes that play.
Again over the middle to Bell. Makes the catch. Touchdown, David Bell!
When he got it going across the field, he always did something magical with the ball. And I can't explain how he did it or why it worked, but that was just one more example of what he did and why he was the most dynamic player.
When they played North Central, it was cold as I don't know what. It snowed. They had heaters out there. The players were trying to keep warm. It was a really tough game.
I think what changed the game is when it was 24-21.
Julian Gay punting to David Bell.
It was hard. I didn't know if they were going to, it was a lot of obstacles for them to overcome to win that game.
Has some room on the outside. David Bell, one man to beat. Cuts it back. David Bell in for 6. I
think that sucked the air out of the stadium right there. It was just like, dang, he's done it again.
Take the lead in some of the air leaking out of Panther Stadium.
Semi-state, I got injured the second series on offense.
Unfortunately, David got injured during the semi-state game, like within the first 4 minutes of the game.
I went in the locker room for about 3.5 quarters, and I come back out to the 4th quarter.
Talking to him back in the locker room, I was like, hey, the team got it. Y'all already up and y'all just in the 1st quarter. Don't worry about trying to pressure yourself to get back out there to play.
He's not coming back, so you're gonna have to do with what you got. It's okay. Next man up. It's been like that your whole life.
We played without Superman before. We played without him. So you got to know that, and you got to trust in your team. Got that?
He's just such a selfish player. He really just wants to win. And when he got hurt at Center Grove, I just remember he was over there crying and he was heartbroken.
I really thought we was finna lose, I ain't gonna lie. When 91 broke that long run, I'm like, yeah, this thing they're over. But luckily we caught him at the 1, and then just 4 straight stops, and then won the state championship. The whole week of state, I was just going to med check.
Dr. Porter told him, hey, you can get out there, but you're not going to be 100%.
What they overcame, David Bell, our receiver, was injured going into this game.
You know, I was trying to stay positive because, you know, growing up, you live for this moment. Growing up watching Darren Evans, Jeremy Finch, all those guys win state championships, and you just want to be the next one to do it. So, you know, when I was by myself, I was like real mad, like how could this happen? It was supposed to be a dream season for me.
Not being able to be out on the field to do what he's been working for all 4 years, to get a championship his senior year, it was kind of a downer, but I was like, hey, you know, they need you out there, go out there, encourage them, pump them up, stay out there as long as you can.
I mean, I really couldn't do much because I was limited on what I could do, but I ended up the game with 3 catches, about 40 yards, and I had 2 key blocks to help Romeo score touchdowns too. And I think I'll probably go down as one of the greatest players to never score a touchdown in the state championship game.
This team overcame more, has the heart of a champion. This is the greatest Warren Central football team.
There we go.
I'm Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. I'm the senior pastor of the City of Hope Community Church. I've been blessed to serve as the team chaplain for the Warren Central football team now for over a decade. I want to say that one of the greatest moments in Warren Central history was the fact that David Bell was able to lead both the boys basketball team and the football team to undefeated seasons to state championships. I mean, it was one of the greatest moments in Warren Central history, led by this awesome young man by the name of David Bell. It was a great season of triumph, especially considering we had just endured a great season of tragedy.
It was May 6th when senior Dejon Anderson and 2 others were shot on a West Side parking lot. Anderson was set to play football in Southern Illinois this fall. A promising career and life cut way too short.
And it really sent the East Side and the whole Warrior Nation just into a darkness and depression, and we were just really going through. And I know it really affected and impacted David. And so being able to come off the heels of that great tragedy to win, once again, both the championship in basketball and football, it was a huge pick-me-up, not only for the sports program, not only for the Warrior Nation, but also for the entire East Side community of the city. Well, everybody knows David Bell in high school, he wore the number 4, that everybody, every game day, everybody was looking for number 4. Where's number 4? They were looking for number 4 to do something awesome. But now we see that he's transitioned from the number 4 to the number 3. Number 3 was the number that Dejon wore in high school. And it's such a blessing to see him embrace that number. It's such a blessing to see him now in number 3, because number 3, it is really more than just a number. That number 3 has become so symbolic on the East Side. It's become so symbolic in the Warren Central community that it's more than just a number. The number 3, it represents a name. That when everybody sees the number 3, you immediately think of Dejon Anderson. It is a constant remembrance of the life that Dejon lived. It represents individuals like David having the opportunity to do what Dejon didn't get a chance to do. I can't wait to see David Bell represent number 3 in the black and gold in the Big Ten. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
When you combine the athlete, the person, the man of faith, the teammates, the kid in the hallways, the way he embraced the Far East Side, I just don't know if it will ever get any better than that. And when you add all those things up, you get David Bell.